Hi, I'm Kelly with Pins and Needles Kits, and this morning we are going to be working on our August kit, which is the Sew Into It eyeglass case from Hoffman Fabrics. Everything in it is pre-cut so that you'll be able to take it right out of the package and start making it. So there's two different colorways. We have the black and gray, and so I've got 3 of them here. There's enough in the package to make all 3. And then we also have the bright colors. So we have the turquoise, the hot pink, and then we have the peach color. So I want to show you how to make these. And we also are going to include in the kit 2 fat quarters from the Me+You line of fabric that this comes from. And it'll just be random colors depending on what goes into your box. And then we're going to give you a zipper. And I'm going to include the instructions to make this cute little pyramid bag. So if you want to use them for that, if not, you can use them for another project. All right, so let's get started. So the eye catcher eyeglasses come with pre-cuts of this is the lining. There's 3 different pieces. You have your different appliques that are laser cut. They already have the fusible on the back of them. It comes with these pieces of tape measure that we use to open and close the little bag. And these are for the tabs to open it. And then you have your fusible fleece and your outside fabric. So the one I'm going to work with first is, let's see, which one shall I do? I think we're going to do this fabric. And so I'll need 1 piece of fusible fleece. I'm going to put these others to the side. And what we want to do first is we want to take the fleece and make sure that the rough bumpy side, which is the fusible, is against the fabric, and we are going to press this together. Okay, so we have the fusible fleece attached to the fabric. Next we're going to take this applique, pull the paper off of it, and we put the fusible side down on the fabric like so, and then we're going to press this on here. Okay, so after it's fused on, we need to sew the edge to make sure that it stays attached to the eyeglass case. So you can do a couple different things. You can do a basic straight stitch, a zigzag, a blanket stitch. I'm going to do a stitch called a feather stitch, and what it does is you're going to stitch right along the edge here, and it's going to kind of go off to the side and just create a cute little stitch. But you can use any of your decorative stitches on your machine. This is always a fun way to get to use different stitches on your machine. So I'll sew this on and then we will continue with the next step. Okay, next we want to make these little pull tabs to open and close the eyeglass case. And so you have these little squares. And so this is one that's already folded up and ready to go. So it's really easy to do. You just fold this over to make a triangle. You're going to press it, and then we'll fold it one more time. And when you do this, it gives all the raw edges are over on one side, and that's going to get slipped into the fabric. So after that, you put your lining underneath the outside part of the case, and you want to make sure that it's even on both sides. It's about 2 1/4 inches that hangs over on each side. Once you have it in here nice and even, you're going to fold both ends down to the edge of the outside of the case and press. And then you are going to fold that over again so that you have a little band on the top of the case. And you'll do that for both sides. Once you've done that, you take your triangle and you have the raw edge and you slide that underneath there, and you want to make sure that you have the same amount of space on each side, so make sure it's evenly underneath here. And then we're going to sew across that edge, and I think I'm going to continue with the little feather stitch that I did. I really like that stitch, so I'm going to sew these together and then I'll show you what it looks like when I'm finished. We're going to put the little pieces of tape measure in the casing that we made here. I got a couple of tips for you. Get some scissors that are, your utility type scissors. And what you want to do is you want to trim off the corners of the tape measure at an angle, because those little points are really sharp and they'll, whoops, cut through your fabric if you're not careful. So we're going to cut those corners off. And then we're going to, oh, well, no wonder it was so hard. I had two of them together. Wow, that was easy. Okay, so then next you're going to take some tape, painter's tape, masking tape, whatever, and you're going to put on the edges here so that you kind of cover up that raw edge. That'll just help your tape measure from cutting into your fabric. All right. Once we've done that, we are going to slide this into the casing, and you want to make sure that the curved edge of the tape measure is facing to the outside of the project. So you'll slide this in and kind of center it inside the casing. So it's the curved edge is to the outside. All right, so once we have that in, well, there we go. We will then put this right sides together, press it down, and we're going to sew the sides up with about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So let me change my machine back over. And make sure that your edges are nice and straight together, and let me get that done and then we'll finish it off. So once I've sewn my 1/4 inch seam, I went back and did a zigzag on each edge just to finish off the edges. After you do that, we're going to turn this right side out. So we're going to push that in, pull it through. Oh, yeah, there's actually one more step I want to show you. So you can, this is one you can do or not do, it's up to you. If you want your edges to be, have a little bit of a boxed edge, you can do that, or you can leave it flat, it's up to you. So let me show you a boxed edge, and then that way you'll be able to do it if you would like. What you want to do is you want to pull this open and flatten this out so that the side seam is in the middle of this triangle here, okay? And then you'll measure about a 1/2 inch up, and we're gonna just do a straight stitch right across that edge there. And when you're first doing this, it's helpful if you will mark it with a pen. I'm just gonna do a real quick one. It may not be exactly perfect, but that way we can get it done so you can see what it looks like. So once you've sewn the little edges, the little triangles, you have these little like puppy dog ears. So we're just gonna trim those off. And if you want to zigzag across them, you can. I think they'll be all right. Batiks, these are batik fabrics and they don't ravel very much, so I think they'll be okay since they're on the inside of your bag. Now we're gonna turn this right side out. So the instructions are really clear that come with the package, and also it has all the sizes to cut everything if you want to make more. So you're not just limited to what you get in the kit. You'll be able to recreate this on your own. All right, so once we have it turned, we want to get all of our corners pushed out. You see how you have that boxed edge now? It looks really nice. It gives it a little bit more room. This is a great little pouch for your glasses or your rotary cutter or just anything that you want to kind of keep up with. And the rulers in there, the metal rulers, actually keeps it closed so things aren't going to fall out. And then when you want to open it, you just pull on the little tabs and you have a finished project. So it's a quick, easy gift or something for yourself, and like I said, there's 3 of them in here, so you get to make all 3 of them. So when you're doing the appliques, the first thing you need to do is iron everything on. So for instance, the dragonfly, you would iron the black part down, and then you're going to put all the little color pieces over it. And then what I did with this is I simply did a straight stitch around each edge, because there's lots of little curves and turns, and I didn't really want to take the time to zigzag or blanket stitch that down. So I just did a straight stitch on each one, matching the color thread with the fabric. And then on the flower, I was playing around a little bit, and I used a variegated thread, and I did a blanket stitch. So I did all the little parts and pieces. It takes a little bit longer as you go around all these little curves, but it turns out really cute. I think I got a little off right there. So just follow the instructions. They're really easy. There's, if you don't want to do the appliques, I did one actually that I just left the applique off, the little hot pink one here, so I didn't even do an applique. You could add embroidery to it, so if you wanted to monogram it for somebody, you could do that. I also didn't add the tabs to all of them either, and that simply was I forgot to put them in. So just make sure you follow the instructions, and it makes it super easy to do and finish. Okay, so that is how you make these little eyeglass catchers, and pretty simple, easy project, and we hope you enjoyed it, and we would love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel or and like us on Instagram and Facebook. So have a great day.